What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to a new segment we call in CGX Bytes or CGX Cloud Bytes. So the goal of this is to bring you guys a little discussion pieces. We're going to be talking about some topics, and yeah, just let us know what your thoughts are. But to get started, we are going to introduce Purple Haze. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful tonight. How are you
Yeah.
doing tonight?
How are you doing tonight? That's right. But yeah, what have you been up to these days?
Oh, I'm just gaming on Sundays, still doing my interviews, and playing a little Biomutant, trying to get through that game.
Biomutant.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That's an old one. What platform are you playing it on?
GFN.
Yeah, nice. I remember when that game came out, it's such a big deal, but some people were saying like it didn't live up to its expectation, but it's a fun game.
It's a fun
It's a
game.
fun
It's a
game.
man's. It's a large world. It's
Yeah,
doing a lot, so I can understand that. But
right.
it's kind of cute. So
True, true. So a lot has happened in the cloud gaming space with all the news with Microsoft flexing the muscles and trying to expand and making the games available pretty much everywhere in the cloud. Um, so let's start with that, right? There's a recent deal with Microsoft and GeForce Now signing a 10-year partnership. With that deal, Microsoft is going to bring their first-party studio games to GeForce Now, and also Activision Blizzard games are gonna come as well. If you guys didn't know, Microsoft now owns Bethesda as well, so we'll begin Bethesda games too on the GeForce Now platform. How big of a news is this for you? And just when you heard this, what was your reaction?
so I'll start off with my reaction. So I thought my reaction immediately was, they're really pushing this narrative that they're trying to put their games wherever people play,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I think and it makes sense if you think about it, right? Microsoft just recently reported a decline in sales year over year. So it makes sense, like expanding the channels that you can play their games in the hopes that you buy their games, right?
yeah,
I I think for me personally, it's not a big deal per se, just because um, I have an Xbox. I generally will play Xbox games on Xbox, and I use my GeForce Now really for other games that really I get a cheaper price on Steam. So that's that's
yeah,
kind of the thing. But I think overall, I think a lot of people in the community really like GFN, and I was really
mhm,
excited for them.
yeah.
I think that's more or less like if you're happy with it, and it's really good news for you, then the world's a better place because you're happier versus not as happy.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about like performance of they just got like the 4080 tier rig upgrade, right? So now I would say at this point, games coming to GFN are will or run better than they would, with the Xbox Series X or S, because again, 4080 tier is more powerful. And then if you have something like the Nvidia Shield TV that can do 4K 60, you pretty much have like a beast rig in your living room, right, to play those games on. So the fact that now, right, with GFN, you have a 4080 tier rig to game on. The games I feel personally are going to look better than the next gen console, looking at something like the Series X, right? How big of a deal is that? Do you feel like this might be what cloud gaming needs to make that change? Is to, all right, it's time to take this seriously because performance wise is going to run better than the next gen consoles, right? So, how big of a deal is this, and do you feel like it's going to move the needle to where people start taking cloud gaming seriously?
Yeah, so I think it's definitely to some people it's a big deal. Like I'm
Okay.
not gonna say it's not a big deal.
Mhm.
Um, how big of a deal is it? I continue to think that cloud gaming is a solution to a problem a lot of people don't have.
Hmm.
And so, are people going to take it serious? Yeah. I mean, like, some people are going to look at it and be like, great, like, let me go do that. But a lot of people, it's still a subscription, right? It's still an added cost. Some people still have this issue with physical versus non-physical.
Hmm.
But will some people like try it out given a lot of the hype around um the Microsoft deal, the 490, that the new tier that's been rolling out. For sure some will. Um but again, I'm not too sure what that balance is. Like I also question at what point does 4K 120, 8K 240, at what point does do these marketing points just no longer matter to people,
Hmm.
right? A lot of the
Hmm.
current games
Hmm.
um aren't aren't running at that, right? Like, so I think it is. I think time's gonna tell. Um, I think GFN really needs to, if you didn't know, GFN dropped, lost over 50% of their revenue in 2022 versus 2021. So I hope it jump starts it. Um, but I think it's still a mix.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Tell me more about that. You said the lost revenue.
Yeah, yeah, it's Nvidia.
Okay.
So if you looked at Nvidia's latest earnings report that they
Right.
reported back in February, if you look under
Okay.
yeah, in their
Yeah.
graphics and then their gaming,
Yeah.
specifically their gaming units, whether that's GPUs or everything else, they reported 50% or 48% decline in revenue.
Yeah.
And that's attributed to a lot of things, but uh they don't report out on GFM particularly, and they didn't report out on that.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Um, I do want to know, is this a big deal for you? This Microsoft when it comes to like GFN as a whole, right? Is this
Yeah.
a big deal for the cloud?
It definitely is a big deal for uh it's a big deal for GFN in the fact that they were able to get a large publisher
Yeah.
right onto their platform,
Right.
that's now set a 10-year
Hmm.
agreement, right? We know Sony has dabbled with GFN in the past, but
Hmm.
has not committed like this.
Yeah.
So I think that in itself is
Yeah.
significant and warrants
Yeah.
um, definitely praise.
Yeah. True. Okay. This is
What about
one.
you? What about you?
Yeah. I would say this one has me excited, and like I stated earlier, just the fact that I have NVIDIA Shield TV and I've been testing games out on the 4080 tier with the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro, and it's performance wise amazing. The game looks incredible. I had my sister visiting here, visit me from Atlanta. And she has a PS5. Personally, I don't own a PS5, but there's a game. I can't remember. I can't remember the game exactly. I think maybe it's Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But she was really surprised by how well it ran and looked on the Video Shield TV, to where it's just like, yo, this looks better than my PS5. And I just think that's awesome. And for me personally, we're gonna talk about like other cloud game platforms that are getting this deal as well. But I feel like Nvidia is best positioned to really take advantage of this deal because again, they just have beefy rigs in the cloud, and it's going to make Microsoft look games look good running this platform. And again, GFN is available like pretty much everywhere. You can play in iPhone, you can play it on your Android phone, on your Google TV, and on your browser. So the goal of Microsoft making the games more accessible, where everyone can play it, but also have you know the best gaming rigs to showcase it off. I think it's a win-win solution. And I think again, when people actually see this, like my sister did, it's gonna be a game changer. They're gonna be like, "Dag, like what? How was this working? You know, how can I get this to run? It's run better than my PS5. You know, I feel like those are conversations we're gonna start seeing. Um, with this 4080 rig. Imagine, sorry if I'm going on too much, but imagine, right, when Redfall or um what's the other big one from
Starfield.
Starfield, right? Same day release on GFN, right? And release on consoles. We definitely gonna do some comparison, but yeah, I think imagine like being able to play that better graphics, better performance on GFN NVIDIA Shield TV than your normal Xbox Series S or X, or PS5, right? It's gonna be a testament to the cloud and something I'm definitely looking forward to. This might be the push that cloud needs, and it's gonna be exciting to see if the industry takes notice with this one. But yeah,
Yeah, I can see. I think it's so funny how you're so excited about it, and so like I said, I'm excited about it. For sure, I'm excited because you're excited. I think I'm still at the point where, um, I think a lot of cloud gamers are a certain type of gamer who are about the technology, about pushing that,
yeah,
and I'm not sure if the majority of people are at that same spot.
yeah,
And I also have my questions about if people are willing to pay a subscription on top of a subscription to play their games. I think both of those are. And what I mean by that is if you get Game Pass plus GFN,
oh,
like that,
ooh, mm,
you're now starting to get into like a $17
yeah,
plus potentially.
yeah,
Uh, let's just say it's uh, Game Pass PC. You're now
mm,
like 27, almost $30
yeah,
to play a game.
true,
um, so, uh, and once again, like if you have $30 to spend monthly on a game, I kind of like there's questions I have on that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
Good thing you brought that up because that is still a big question as to what the payment structure is going to look like, right? Is it going to be like Game Pass for PC subscription, or is it going to be like you purchase a game from Steam? They did say that if you purchase a game from Steam or any third party partner, you can use those games on the service. But I'm wondering, like, is it going to be the Game Pass PC catalog? And you know you pay your $9 a month or whatever, $10 a month, and then have access to
Yeah, it'll
all the
probably be
Microsoft
both,
games.
right?
Yeah,
It'll probably. I don't understand
it'll
why
be
it wouldn't be.
smart if they
Yeah, I
went
don't
that
understand
route.
why it
Yeah,
wouldn't be both.
yeah,
Um, and so yeah, I think again,
yeah,
it's like how many. Again a question just how many people buy their games from Microsoft versus Steam or
yeah.
Valve versus, Epic. Like you're starting to get into that. But I think to have the option,
Mhm.
right? If that's the way you want to game, I'm always like, if that's someone's way to game and they can now do it,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that person.
True, true. Well, this is going to be exciting. Definitely something we'll, continue to look into and talk about. But yeah, I think this is good just hearing you taking it purple. But yeah, we'll definitely come back to this topic for sure.